how I became a part of it and such. It's so nice to see you guys all here. Let's see. First of all, I want to thank John and Jennifer for sponsoring this, but also they took myself and a friend who came with me, who's a wonderful playwright and writer, whose film is going to be shown today at 12:15. It's called Off the Map. It's a beautiful film with Sam Elliott and Joan Allen, if you get a chance to see that. But we went to visit the alligator farm yesterday, and we were given really the royal treatment by John and Jennifer. We were taken really all over the farm and got to do some extraordinary things like feed Massimo white rats, which is pretty thrilling. He leaped out of the pond up to get this white rat, and his mouth was about 2 feet from my hand, and that's pretty exciting. Anyway, thank you again, John and Jennifer. So Raiders of the Lost Ark was made in 1980, released in 1981. I met with Steven Spielberg in New York City. He had seen a film I had done recently called A Small Circle of Friends, which was my first leading role in a film. Last night they played Animal House here, and that was my very first role in a film, but it was a kind of a small supporting role in an ensemble cast. But in A Small Circle of Friends, I played one of the main characters, and Spielberg had seen it. It was directed by a friend of his, Rob Cohen, who was doing his first film as a director. And he had said, I want to meet with her on this next project I'm working on. So when he came to New York City, there was no script. There was a script, but no one was allowed to read it. And I went in and we just sat and talked for maybe 15 minutes. And then about 3 or 4 days later, I got the news that they would like me to come to Los Angeles and do some screen tests with some actors who were potentially going to play Indiana Jones. And the story that precedes this is actually the actor Tom Selleck had been cast as Indiana Jones, but he had done before that the pilot for Magnum P.I., and they had decided to pick up the pilot, and so he was not going to be allowed to play Indiana Jones because it was a conflict now, and he had already had to sign an agreement that if they decided to go forward with Magnum P.I., he had to do it. So this is a disappointment to him to this day, because while Magnum P.I. was, I think, a huge hit for him on television, he always regrets the thought that he might have played Indiana Jones. But I went out to Los Angeles and auditioned with 2 wonderful actors, an actor named John Shea, that you might know from films, and Tim Matheson, who had been in Animal House with me. Neither one of them got the role, but they asked me to play Marianne Ravenwood. And I had a chance to read the script by that point, although I was only really allowed to read a couple of the scenes that I auditioned with before they asked me to do the film. Then they sent the film to me by courier while I was working up in Northern California doing another film. And the courier this is how secretive they've always been around the Indiana Jones films. The courier had to sit in my hotel room while I read the script, and I had to give it back to him, and he left with it. And then I had to make a decision as to whether or not I wanted to do the film, which of course I did want to do. It was quite intriguing as a script on the page. I don't know that I really grasped the full scope of it in one quick read with the person watching me read it. It was a little distracting. But I said yes, and I guess it was maybe a month or so later, they decided, they honed in on Harrison, who was of course right there in their backyard as Han Solo, because George Lucas was also involved in Raiders of the Lost Ark. And I think they'd had a little bit of resistance to Harrison because he was playing Han Solo, and they were thinking, oh, maybe that doesn't work to have the same actor playing Indiana Jones. But it worked out okay, I think. You know, did it okay?
Yeah, I think so.
come and answer any questions that you might have. So I think I won't say any more, but I hope you enjoy the screening.
Now, let's choreograph this picture. If you all would come in the front row, maybe get down on the stage so we can have it staggered so we can see everybody.